Hi everyone, Thomas here, and I just wanted to answer a common question. And sometimes we brush over things and make some of these beautiful, wonderful things just seem kind of commonplace whenever in fact they're not. Why is it that Christians actually celebrate Christmas? Right? In our culture, Christmas has become just some kind of holiday to spend lots of money and get lots of gifts that people might not even use or return. And there's that whole Black Friday thing, and it's become this really strange sort of holiday where we have these Christmas miracles, or we meld some sort of spirituality with it. And in the church and in general, the question needs to be asked, why do we actually celebrate Christmas? What does it mean? I have three just quick points, three main reasons that Christians actually celebrate Christmas and why it's so important, why it can change your life to understand these things. Here's the first point. We celebrate Christmas because, Jesus, he's actually made God known to us. You see, we often think of God, as we rightly should, far away in a sense, holy, meaning set apart, different. And Jesus has made him known to us. In John chapter 1, verse 18, it says, "No one has ever seen God. The only God who is at the Father's side, he has made him known," in reference to Jesus. In Hebrews 1:3, it says this, "He's the radiance of the glory of God and the exact imprint of his nature. And he upholds the universe by the word of his power. After making purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty on high, having become as much superior to angels. The name he has inherited is more excellent than theirs." Or in Colossians 1:15, he is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. We celebrate Christmas because Jesus has actually made God known in the flesh to us. In fact, he is God in the flesh. He upholds everything by the word of his power. We're not just celebrating some random carpenter or some prophet, but in fact, God who has come to his people. No one had ever seen God, but Jesus has made him known. The second reason that we celebrate Christmas and why it's so important is that, think about this for a moment, God took on flesh. It says this in Hebrews 2:17 through 18. "Therefore he had to be made like his brothers in every respect, so that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest," this is in reference to Jesus, "in the service of God, to make propitiations for the sins of the people. For because he himself has suffered when tempted, he is able to help those who are being tempted." Now, there's a lot of big words there, but really what this is saying is, one, Jesus had to become like us in every respect so that we could trust in his grace. First and foremost, think about this for a moment. Jesus suffered the loss of a parent. We don't know where Joseph was in the end of Jesus' life. Jesus likely suffered a lot of losses. Jesus was hungry. Jesus felt pain. Jesus felt rejection. Jesus walked with 12 imperfect people and far more. People who were depressed, people who were anxious, people who were experiencing financial drought, people who were experiencing suffering, people who, even though they had been with Jesus for the entire time, ended up rejecting him. And yet, he still willingly went to the cross. We celebrate Christmas because Jesus, one, took on flesh so that we could understand he can relate to us. He's experienced our suffering. And not only that, after experiencing our suffering and walking with us, even those who would reject him and nail him to the cross, he still went to the cross. And there's that word, made propitiation for our sins. That word propitiation simply means to take God's wrath and turn it to favor. Jesus, after experiencing the temptation, the suffering that we go through every day, our fickle hearts still went to the cross and took the wrath that you and I deserve, took our imperfection away. The last and final reason that we celebrate the incarnation is simple. This is what sets Christianity apart from every other world religion or philosophy. Every other world religion has mankind going to God. In Christianity, God comes to mankind. He even takes on flesh. Jesus, the second member of Trinity, the Son, took on human form and suffered with us, by our side, and for us. No other faith tradition has that level of grace, has that level of understanding. So I would implore you to consider these things. If you follow Christ, know that you're following a God who loves us enough to come and suffer with us and for us. And know this too, Jesus is the only one who reveals the Father to us, as it says in John chapter 1. If you're looking for God, you've found him in the person and the work of Jesus. And this is why Christians celebrate Advent.